Hey, let's do it to it. Oops. Oh boy. I have to. Yep, you're doing great. So let's start on our puzzle rush. We'll get to see how I. So this is my first one. So I'm warming up. Hopefully it's a good one. So let's see. Alright, we take some wind material. Rook takes, queen takes. Okay, king takes. So okay, we take. That's mate. Oops. So that king is in check. Let's see. Here, there. Yep. Up we go, and we're safe. Okay, we win. A rook, there we go. Actually, two rooks. Okay, fork the bishops. Win the bishop. This wins a queen, and we're up a piece. This wins a queen. Oops, grab the queen. There we go. This wins with mate. There's check, checkmate. We win a bishop. Let me see here. If we play here, and that would equal mate. Yep, here, mate. Let me see. So there, and we actually pick up a piece. Yep. This is mate. Let me see here. Let's see. Oh, right, we win a knight with bishop takes, and then takes. There we go. Okay, we're threatening checkmate with pushing. Okay, it's over. This here, that. If he tries to come back, we push. Okay, perfect. There's no way to stop the checkmate, or the queen and then mate, of course. Let's see if we come here. He takes, we queen, we pick up a rook. Boom. Okay. Let's see. Check. He takes, and then that's mate. Okay, got it. Boom. Let's see here. Do we have something? Let's see. Check. That's mate. Okay, dokie. Let's see here. Let's see. Check. Check. Bishop there, so no. This wins a rook. Or a piece. This right here. We take, and then we come up there. That's over. Let's see here. No, because we'd the queen would be being attacked there. Let's see. Takes. That was a tough one. Let's see here. And the queen has to intercept, and it's checkmate. Not check. Well, let me see this. Do I play there? And then if pawn push, then I grab the knight. Or do I check here? King there. Then knight in there. That's it. Okay. Here we go. So all the pawns work in unison. Okay. me see here. So if I play knight takes, boy. Let's see here. There. No, that doesn't do anything. Maybe this. No, I wasn't sure. Ah, drat. I got too slow at the end. I got tied up on a couple puzzles. Okay, drat. I should have seen. Yeah, this is mate there. Okay. Huh, that was odd. I don't know why I didn't see that. That was a standard. Yeah, I missed that one. But we got it now, so. Yeah, this one was a tricky one. I'm wondering if it's not that. Oh, drat. Drat. So it was based on a pin. It's based on this pin here, this fork, and so after the rook takes, even if rook takes here, queen takes, rook takes, king takes, we're still up 2 exchanges. Okay, we'd be up 2 exchanges at that point. Sweet. Okay. Wow. Okay, I did not see that one. Let's see what this one is. Okay. When you get to certain levels, they get more mix of combinations. It's not like mate ones or anything anymore. Maybe it's that. No. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if we take here. No, that's not it. I'm wondering if it's, nope, it's not that. Okay, I'm curious. Oh, wow, so it's there. Huh. Wow, that was a tricky one. Okay, and then you just take there. Okay, so this, it's trapped at that point, so all you need is to bring a rook over and, grab it. Okay, let's give it another shot. Okay, let's see if we can break 23. Come on, let's do it to it. Boom. Alright, the Arabian mate, loving it. Okay, check, and then checkmate. Checkmate. Check, checkmate. Check, checkmate. Check, checkmate. Bishop takes. This wins also, I'm thinking. Let me see there. Comes up, and then we take there and win the queen. Okay. Oh, the queen just gave itself up already. Okay. So check here, here. Yep, we got it. Oh, drat. Check. Let's see, check. Takes. Check. But if we played check here, rotates. Oops, not there, but check there. I like better. I think if we check here, we got it. Okay. Gotta get a move in now on this to regain the time. Okay, so here, there, there, that wins. Okay, this picks up a piece. Let's see, play there, queen moves, that's mate, but nope. Let's see, takes, so we pick up a rook. So there, nope. Well, maybe, because we do get a light. I like that. So if we push, oh, drat. Let's see, okay, let's get this going. Let's see, check. Goes there. So we can't do that. Let's do it here, and that's mate. Let's say check here, and that's mate. Or check here. Let's see here, there, up here, here. Let's see there. So that's not it. Bye. Come on. I think it's that. Oh no. That was only 20. Drat. Let's we gotta do one last one. Come on. I gotta be quick. I gotta be Grease Lightning. Ah. Sorry, that wins because of there. I don't know why I didn't see that. Okay, now I did. Okay, I got that integrated into my mind now. It's practice. You just have to have practice. So that doesn't work. It's first that takes and you win the queen there. I didn't see that. Let's do this one. No, I did though. I moved too fast. Okay. This wins the queen. I saw it at the last moment. One last time. Okay, let's do it to it. Go team. Come on. Alright. Team, go. Okay, this wins knight. Okay. This wins check, so we first take here, and then you, oh, no, 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 no. Well, no, no. Good. So check, check, check. Come on, mate. Come on, speed through these. Let me see here. Hammer through all these quick. Wow. Whoa. I was on record pace and my computer glitched. Wow. I think I would have hit, I think I would have actually hit 30 on that one. Wow. let's do our end game, because that's always fun to do. Do that one first. Set up a Magnus. Oh, this is an MVL game. This is when MVL was 2579. This is 2006. Wow, this is 13 years ago. Magnus is almost 2700 here, so that's a pretty stellar. MVL is white, Magnus is actually black. It's white to move, so we'll okay, Doki. You are white here. You are Magnus Carlsen. So white, white to move. Exclam. What do you think? What do you think the move is? What do you think the move is? White to move, exclaim. I'm going to give you the first opportunity. That's a good try, but just think, what would Magnus play? Think about this is Magnus Carlsen as white. Think what Magnus would want to do something even better than that, even better. He's got a humongous attack that's going to be coming, but he needs to set up for the proper implementation of it. So what would Magnus play here to set up for an attack? It doesn't look like it sets up for an attack, but it actually does. This move is vital. It's the only move that really holds. That the author says it's the only move that holds the position together. Not holds position, but gets an attack going. Because remember, these pawns are coming down the board. Yeah, these pawns are coming down the board. So Magnus has to get his forces rolling. And where is he? What side of the board is he the strongest on? So what move would you play here if you know that you're strong on the queen side? What move would you play here for white then to make yourself even stronger? Boom, you got it. This is an exclam move. Excellent job. See, that's how you can tell with the imbalances of a chess position. By you can say, where am I the strongest and what side do I want to what side would I want to play on? Everything on the king side is fine. This knight's doing a good job holding. This bishop is. This queen is. Now what we need to do is get our start trying to trade down, bring the queen over, and potentially get a pass pawn. And it's an outside passer. Outside pass pawn. So b takes a. After there is a rook b8 could be played here, but a takes b at this point. A takes b and then queen b4. Still with an idea of setting up for this here. You can set up for bishop and knight. Everything's operation go. But in this, then queen takes. White would be a little better. In this line, white would be a little better. But this is much better. Rook b8. And then b3. Well, you could do that. But remember, what we're trying to do is set up for c5 here. And if pawn takes, then bishop takes, and we got a pin on the queen to the king. You have to look for these tactics. And rook to b6 to hold on to the pawn, because this pawn's gonna has to be protected. And then now this is you again or Magnus, and it's white to move. Oh, where's my thing here? Right here. Copy. Paste. White to move, exclam. You gotta think deep for this one. This one's a deep one. This is a really deep positional move here. A really deep one. Because it's the whole basis for, it's the reason that Magnus played, well, try again. The reason Magnus played this was to play this move. The reason Magnus played b3 and then allowed the pawn to be protected by the rook on b6 was for one move. One move and one move only. You're going down the right track, but you have to set up for that move first. So set up for that move first. There's one move that you have to do to lock all the pieces down. This move right here will lock everything down to the each one will have to protect each other. So you have to think about what piece could I move that would cause the queen to what move would I do to cause this queen to be guarded to this one. So you see it, this queen's guarding the rook. How do I keep this queen guarding the rook? There's only one move that does it. Because this queen is bound to this rook, or it's like, if you think of a rope, this queen has a rope to this rook, and there's only one move that can take advantage of that weakness. What move would white play here? You got it. You got it. Yep. And so now the reason that b3 was played was so that when rook came here, queen can actually come to a5, exclam. This move right, oops, come on. Oh no, not glitching again. Not glitching. Oh. Drat. I don't know why it's trying to reconnect. Hold on, let me check my internet. 1 second. I'll be right back. Yeah, see, the whole basis of Queen A5 was to actually tie the queen down to the rook. I have no idea why it's having such a hard time loading. Let me reload up the thing here. Let's get off that. Wow. Let's get back to our studies. There we go. Queen A5. Hey, where there's a will, there's a way. So you know what? You just work with it. And you know what? That's why the Lord Jesus gave us a mind to think. So this idea of the queen to A5 was to tie the queen down to the protection of this rook. So king G7 to get off of this potential absolute pin on the king. Knight D4, this attacks the queen. And then queen D6. The bishop stands perfect on D3. So, and the knight on D4 is perfect too. So pawn C3, and then H5. You see the knight covers the B3 pawn and allows for this push to start coming down the board. And then H4 exclam at this point. This is a beautiful exclam move. This moves white lacks pawns R2 in front of the king, and Carlsen superiorly judges that his king is untouchable despite how vulnerable it is. This one move locks down everything here, because if he tries doing that, he can actually take, and then play knight there, and boom. So like if he plays here, he could even, if he plays there, this wins the queen. So he comes up and wins the queen. So that's why G4 was a beautiful idea. Just beautiful. King H6. Now this can be played. Well, no, actually no, it can't be. Still, that's weak. B3, exclam. White's plan is to play pawn C5. I mean queen C5, queen takes C5, pawn takes C5, and then the rook can't move there because the knight covers it, and up the board it goes, and Magnus will queen. Rook B8. This was a mistake by MVL. The French grandmaster gets carried away thinking that he can create a problem for Magnus' king. On the other hand, waiting was not appealing either. For example, if he played king at g7, queen to c5, and then if queen takes, pawn takes, the rook has to go back, and then you just start the march of the pawns. Or you could just, you can wait and play bishop takes. That might actually be better than c6, because there's no rush to play c6. Just win the pawn, get rid of MVL's pass pawn, and now you're the only one with a pass pawn. That's actually, yeah, you're the only one with. No, he's got a pass pawn on f5, but there's really no way of promoting that. So queen takes, a6. Now Magnus has a pass pawn, and then MVL plays queen to f4, blunder. This was a blunder. A straightforward blunder in a lost position. That's what the author says. Knight f5. Exclam. And it's a game, set, and match. Black resigns because after g takes, then queen takes f, king h7, you have bishop takes f5, and there's only one move that the king can go to, and h here, and then you lose. The queen is lost at this point. So it's a puzzle rush idea. It's so straightforward. You would think you wouldn't see that move because it's on a protected square. That this actually is a winning combination. That takes. And also if queen takes, f5, which is a potential idea, bishop takes, f takes, and then you play check here, you check there. You can now check here and pick up the rook, and so you win. It's all over. Let's we'll go to our studies again, and we're going to do our French defense. This was a fast one. Magnus, he would have lost everything. Magnus won this game thanks to his fine judgment about the safety of his king, the lovely improvement of his pieces, and ultimately he outwitted a strong and he not outwitted, he saw the tactic. I believe that's what it said. Let me see. What was the thing? He ultimately saw the strongest tactical continuation. That's what it was, not outwit. I don't know where I got that from. It was the he saw the strongest tactical continuation and saw the blunder and knew how to take advantage of that blunder. Alrighty then. Now we're starting a whole new chapter. It's the advanced variation. Advanced variation. I think I spelled that right. Let me make sure. Yep. Now we got to turn the board. go. Okay, so of course we all know how the advanced variation goes. Here, here. This is the start of the advanced variation. In this chapter we will examine, the author says, we will examine the advanced lines in many areas. After e5, white's pawns have a lot of space in the center, which gains a tempo on the black knight if black were to actually move there, but black doesn't, so there is no tempo gain. The e5 fixes all the pawns in place, and the king side is now where white wants to play. A good idea is to play c5 in this line. So black was to play c5 and f6, and that's the two breaks that are vital, and so white has to be on guard for those type of breaks. And then after we undermine the pawns after this, and then they take, we start taking scope on d4. The d4 pawn ends up becoming a weakness. The advanced variation, white's intent is to grab territory and squeeze black into submission. That's what the author says. This is the only way to counter. c5 has to be played. Any other move is too slow, and it allows white to consolidate his space advantage. He plays g4 here. It's an interesting move. This is more of a blitz line. You'll see this more in speed chess. They'll throw these tactical things out. This line has fallen into disrepair of the modern way of playing in this line. This is not actually adequate enough, because what you can do here is take, and they're saying that the main line of the advanced variation is here. Then what you would play is knight here, knight there, and then you have the old main line, which is queen b6, or you have the newer main line, which is bishop d7. And this gives you a chance, and the idea is trying to get the bishop outside the pawn chain. There's a lot of play. The reason queen b6 isn't the best move is they could play a3, and if we play knight e2, they have b, we take here, he takes here, we play there, and then they have bishop here, and it holds this pawn with the bishop. This is found to be slightly better for actually white. And so the a3 pawn when queen went to b6 is a vital idea. See, the whole reason why is if any other move was played, we'll just say bishop e2, you can actually take, and then if pawn takes, you have bishop b4 check, and then if the bishop sits in front, you can actually play knight takes, and then if knight takes, pawn there takes, and if bishop takes, queen takes, and you've acquired a winning position. And then queen there. Here you have you've won a pawn, and so your position is going to be much better. You can either play e7 to g6, e7 to c6 with your knight, and you're good to go. So c takes d. There's also, if you don't want to take, you could play knight c6 because this pawn is protected, and knight f3, and c takes. We'll transpose into the same line, but just move less, move sooner. Knight f here, knight c6, and then bishop d3. Just trying to get tremendous attack, but you got to remember, you have to be realistic in your play. White intends to he doesn't mind sacrificing this pawn either. If takes here, then he can actually get the e5 pawn. So f5 was actually played in this line here, which is an interesting move, because if you think about it, what's he trying to do? I've actually played this in a game but it was when my opponent actually played an f4 position rather than this bishop move coming out. They actually played f4, and because what they were trying to do is set up for these two bishop cross attacks. One was to come here and then come across and try to stop if I wanted to castle queenside. But thankfully I didn't have this played on me in an over the board game. They played the main line rather than because the main line has like the first 5 moves are automatic. There's this move if you wanted to play queen c7, queen g3, because you're going after the pawn, knight g e7, and then next idea is to get your knight in, castle kingside, and then knight g6, and now you're taking full scope on e5, a rook e1, and then knight b4, and we can see white's good bishop is his light square bishop. So if we're able to trade off the light square bishop, even though it's a closed position, we have an advantage because we'll be 2 moves and we'll get our bishop involved. And also we're threatening to set up to win another pawn if need be on c2. So there's that could happen too. That's why knight b4 is an exclam move. Knight takes d4 because he gets the pawn back. You're giving the pawn back, but remember, you're now getting rid of his bishop pair. You have the bishop pair. You're 1 pawn away from clearing up the center too. Yes, you're saying, but don't you have pawns in the center? Yeah, but there's no white pawns in the center, which means after this white pawn goes, we can play e5, and this light square bishop becomes a good piece again. So c takes d, and then bishop d7. And I see he prefers black here since white's attacking chance has been greatly reduced with the exchange of the bishop on d3 for the knight. And h5 will next be played to h4 and then h3, and will start undermining white's kingside. It will be the one who's attacking at this point. So f5 was played though. So black wants to solidify his position and get his knight out if in passing happens. Queen g3, because of course you see in passing it does nothing but just activate the knight, which now in my opinion black's totally in control here. Black's in full control and he's on Operation Go for an attack. Knight g e7, so now we can actually bring our knight in here to g6 and then take scope on this pawn twice, and we'll bring the queen in pretty soon. So castles. Knight g6 though, a little too soon. Remember, we need to get all of our pieces going. So this looks like a active move, but it's just way too slow. So what we should play here is bishop d7. Remember, there's no rush to play the knight there, and if need be, we can play queen d7, castle queenside, and we have sufficient chances for an attack on the king side because of pawn to g6, g5, h5, and then h4 with a tremendous attack coming down. So a3 would have been played because he's predicting that he's going to castle. So h4, there we go. Up the board they go. Oops, sorry. Wrong. It wasn't that. It was a5. This stops b5 in its tracks. Knight bd2. And queen b6. With the idea of protecting the pawn, attacking there, and then castle queenside. Rook e1. And now h6 with the idea h4 and king f. Weird thing is king f7. Surprisingly, you'd think, wait a second, all your good pieces are and you're coming over. Yeah, you could actually try this castle queenside, and if he tries that there, takes, and then check, you can come up and you're up material. So I'm thinking castle queenside would still be a playable idea. h4, queen c7, triple attack. So rook e1, and now bishop d7. This now, I don't know why he played that. Maybe black played that. Because b4 makes a lot more sense here when you're activating your bishop and you're also preparing to castle kingside. So this makes a lot more sense. c3 though is an unexclam move too. It looks like it's oops. It looks like don't do that. c3 looks like it's it looks like a kind of like, wait, isn't that a bad move? No, it's not. D takes C, and then B takes C, and bishop a5, and we're going to try to retreat back to pin this pawn. h5, knight f8, rook d1, g8, with the idea of playing g6 and trying to open the position up. a3, knight a3, and then a6 here to stop the knight from coming in. c4, g5, exclam, and this is he says a very messy game, very messy. So that if like takes, then the rook can actually come in, and if it comes back there, you can actually play bishop here attacking this rook. If the rook moves, then you play knight takes, and if takes, bishop takes, and then the queen's got to move. So you have something like that. So black wants more of a solid position, not a mess. That's why they're playing for the bishop move. But see, it doesn't have, it feels wrong. Bishop d7 just feels wrong. It doesn't feel right because you're not harmonizing your pieces, and that's a problem. And the light square bishop's always going to be a nagging thorn in the side of black anyways. A3. And also, what Grandmaster 7 Williams says is, if you can get a dark square bishop to B4, this is a really good idea to do, if you can get one here. So, bishop takes F5 isn't a good idea either. It's a mistake here. E takes F, and then E6, Queen takes G, E takes, check, and then King takes, F takes, and then bishop to D6 with. See, this was a combination that looked appealing, but not so. So after this, black castle queen-sided, and now it's a game of opposite castle kings and who can get to the other king first. A6 was actually a dubious move here, but waste of time. Sometimes the best thing to do is not to weaken the side that you're getting attacked on. That is true. They were saying that king to B8 was actually more principled. It protects the pawns and your operation go, and you're good. It's more principled. This violates principle because your king's exposed. H5, King G E7. I'm not king, knight G7, and then bishop D2. Now this is kind of a scary setup. White's doing wonderful here. White's in a wonderful position with this move, and this is kind of like a Nimzo setup. The move appears unnatural since it blocks the D2, but it develops, it's going to be D2 for the knight, of course, but what you're going to do is you're getting ready to play C3 and then try to cement everything. White's plan is to play A4, B5, and pray to open up the queenside and acquire reinforcements. And 2, white is content with C2, C3 as well. Just getting stuff all ready. So B5 was played to lock down that idea. Avoid moves which violate principle of not allowing lines to open up around the king. Like H6 would be a not so good move here. Hold on, let me see what today. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. Man, that's a problem. Oops. Not B5 yet. H6, sorry. H6 here. A4. And then oops, not B6. G5. A4, by the way, is in a sclam setup because it's going along with a plan of trying to tear the position open. This move closes the king side, which favors white. He should try to come in with bishop to e8, and then if queen h2, now g6 to open up the position. And so that's a playable idea. What is so g b5, h takes g is a mistake for white. This is actually a dubious move, because remember, what's the principles? Don't open up an attack onto your king, and this opens an attack up onto the king via rook g8. Black is still in trouble, but perhaps better off than the game continuation at this point. So f4. Queen g4, and knight b8, which is a mistake. b8's too slow. I'm thinking that potentially knight to a5 would actually be a better move, yeah, because you're going to try to reroute your knight to c4, which kind of clogs things up for a little bit. But c3 was played here. A powerful opening line move. Now you get to see the problem with having the king stuck on c7. Once this knight moves to a2, or just rook c1 right away because of the bishop, and black's in a world of trouble. Rook e8. This is so that the king can have a spot to get out of the way. C takes d. This double question mark idea. This is actually a losing move, so don't get enticed just to take, because what'll happen now is the rook can slide over, and now you can actually go kaboom with the knight there. And it's only white who stands to win here. C takes d. King d8, because the idea is to play rook c1. Rook c1 anyways. And now queen b6. a5. Queen a7. And then b6. Can you imagine this? The queen is actually trapped. Queen a8. Now the queen's out of play. I've seen everything. This is incredible. The queen's actually trapped. It can't get out. This is an entombed queen right now. Wow. Black's in deep, deep, deep trouble. Rook c7. Knight to f5. Knight c3. And bishop e7. Knight takes d5. This is a tactical blow. You gotta love it when that happens. Because if pawn takes, then you have bishop takes, queen takes, and now black's position's just collapsing under the weight of everything. Knight takes d4. This isn't extremely isn't a very good counter punch. It's not good at all. Knight takes. And E takes at this point. Promote. Combination alert. Combination alert. White to move. White to move, exclam. White to move, exclam. Combination alert. Combination alert. I'll be right back. I'm going to give you, my chess cruncher, team chess cruncher, a chance to see what white did. This is a winning combination. We'll see what it is. Get a drink and I'm going to be right back. So what have you got? What have you agreed on? Okay. So queen takes d7. Exclam. You don't get to see that every day. And then if knight takes, queen e8 is a smother mate. Congratulations. This is what he says. Don't underestimate the antique move of queen g4 back here. This antique move, queen g4, because my preferred setup, he says, is actually to go queen c7 and knight g e7 and then knight into g6 and then knight b to there. Yep, exactly. Alrighty, so that's the continuation of his favorite move. So let's get on to some puzzles. We're doing pretty good today. We're ahead of schedule, which means we'll be able to do some more puzzles. You're more than welcome to put in the comments on the puzzles, and they're always mate and twos. And I'll tell you when it changes, because it actually does, but at this moment it's mate and two. There we go. Yep, shows you the power of the pawns. Great job. Alrighty. You got it. This is actually a position, so this did happen. I mean, I'm just saying though, this is in the book. So this is a 100% position, even with the 3 rooks. This one's a pretty good one. You got it. Double check, and then mate. Well, yep. Well, we try to. This is lays down myelin, which makes it so that your mind is better. Yep, good job there. Takes there, and then double checkmate. That's a double checkmate. Mate. There you go. Let's continue. This one should be a walk in the park here. You got it. We can do 12 tonight because we got finished early enough. So we're laying down a lot of thinking. Okay. Let's see. 2 knights. A rook. Yep, there you go. I don't think, is there any other way to do it? Nope. You got it. Rook takes, bishop takes, and then bishop g2, d2. Bishop d2. Bishop g3 allows for the king to go to e2. It's only bishop d2. Oops, sorry, I thought you said d2. You had g3. Bishop g3 allows king to e3. But good find on the rook sack though, so congrats on that. Good job. This one's a unique one. You're gonna have to look deep for this one. Really deep. But I know you can find it. Because you're Team Chest Cruncher. No, we'll try again. Yeah, you have the right piece. Yep, there you go. There you go. Kaboom. Nice job. See, the reason the other one doesn't work, let me see if it does. It may work. Let me see here. Okay, 7. And but see, it's I think it, let me see. I think it's mate 2 as well. Yep, you found the other. Good job on finding the other mate 2. So we found both mates. Good work. Not a lot of material, but it still works. Surprisingly, there's mate 2 here. Oh. That's cool. Good job. Good find there. Good work. Good find. Yes, nice job. Okay, 2 more. 2 more. After this one, it'll be 1 more. Yep. 2 more of these and we're good to go. All right. Might have to move, mate, too. Good job. One more. One more. One more. Oh, yeah. Okay, that will end here. Do you have any questions? Okay. Alright, I wanted to thank you all for logging on. You know what? Remember that you become what you think about. I wanted to leave you with that. So if you enter a chess game with the thoughts of fear, nervousness, and stuff, that'll affect your play. So what you think about is important, and who you bring in with you. You need to bring the Lord Jesus into your chess game. He'll help you, and sometimes if you need to before, you could always pray and you know what, just get into like I want to say the zone and ask the Holy Spirit to help you with over the board games. But you know what we have to keep in mind too is that I wanted to leave you with this one too, that every long journey begins with one small step. So that is huge, a small step. So you know what, it's the first step is as important as the last step. And you know what, we have to remember that the steps that you know, think about. I always think of King David. When King David first started out, he was the not as strong as his other brothers. But what happened was he grew up to be one of the greatest kings of Israel, and it's not how you start, it's how you finish. That's important, and that's really a good example there. And I wanted to leave you with that thought that if a young shepherd boy can defeat a giant, we can defeat our giants through the Lord Jesus always. And I'll leave you with that. As Wesley So says through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless. And I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening. And you know what? We're gonna keep pushing forward and having fun doing Magnus Endgames and the French defense, and then some puzzles. And we almost broke 30 today. It was a little glitch, but you know what? We'll get there. And one step at a time. And you know what I mean? So it's always like what Hannibal Smith said, forcing moves are vital in chess because then you know where your opponent's going to be going, and it's either a win or a draw. If you lose, don't think of it as a loss, think of it as a learning opportunity. So 2 thumbs up, hoorah, be blessed, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day, or if it's night there, and study chess and always have fun. Bye bye. And honor the Lord Jesus always. Bye bye.